Alice encountered a caterpillar in the forest and introduced herself. However, the caterpillar seemed skeptical, so Alice put her hands behind her back and recited a very long poem. The caterpillar interrupted her and said she had recited it incorrectly. Alice fell silent, feeling that she was being contradicted more than ever before. The caterpillar then asked, "How tall do you want to be?" Alice hurriedly replied, "I don't care about the height, sir. But I don't like changing constantly, you know." "I don't know," said the caterpillar. Alice fell silent again. She had never encountered someone who contradicted her so much, and she felt like losing her temper. "Do you like your present height?" the caterpillar asked. "Oh, if you don't mind, sir, I'd like to be a little taller. About 3 inches is such a wretched height." Alice said. "That's a very good height indeed," the caterpillar said angrily, straightening up as it spoke. "Just 3 inches, but I'm not used to it," poor Alice pleaded, thinking, "I hope he doesn't get angry." "You'll get used to it in time," the caterpillar said, and placed the hookah in its mouth again. This time, Alice waited patiently for it to continue. After a minute or two, the caterpillar took the hookah out of its mouth, yawned, and wriggled down off the mushroom, heading towards the grass. As it crawled away, almost as an afterthought, it said, "One side will make you grow taller, and the other side will make you grow shorter." "One side of what?" "The other side of what?" Alice wondered. "The mushroom," said the caterpillar, as if Alice had asked it. With that, it vanished. For a minute or two, Alice looked at the mushroom, pondering which side was which. Because it was perfectly round, she couldn't tell. But regardless, she reached out with both arms, trying to embrace it, and she shrank down as small as she could. Eventually, she managed to break off a piece of the mushroom's edge with each hand. But now, which side was which? She wondered as she took a bite from the right-hand piece. Suddenly, her chin bumped against something very hard. It was her own foot. The sudden change made her lose her balance, and she would have fallen over if she hadn't grabbed the mushroom with both hands. While her chin was wedged firmly against her foot, she managed to take a bite from the left-hand piece of mushroom. "Ah! My head's free at last!" Alice exclaimed. However, her joy quickly turned to fear as she realized that she couldn't find her shoulders. When she looked down, all she could see was a long neck, like the trunk of a tree in a sea of green. What were those green things? Alice thought. Where are my shoulders? Oh dear, my poor hands, how can I ever see you again? She waved her hands in the air, but apart from a few rustling leaves in the distance, there was nothing. It seemed like her hands couldn't reach her head anymore. So, she tried bending her head down to her hands, and she was delighted to find that her neck was as flexible as a snake's and could bend in any direction. She bent her neck down in a Z shape and tried to reach into the green sea below, only to discover that the green sea was none other than the treetops of the forest she had wandered through earlier. Just then, a shrill voice made her quickly retract her head, and a large pigeon flew at her face, flapping and pecking at her. What on earth was it trying to do?